everyone. I'm Dr. Preeti Sharma, Senior Consultant Pediatrician at KIMS, Kondapur, Hyderabad, and I have with me today Dr. Bhanudeep, Pediatric Neurologist DM at KIMS, Kondapur.
Hello everyone.
We will be talking about migraine in children. This being the Migraine Awareness Week, we wanted to discuss about migraine in children. What are the symptoms? What is the treatment? Now, as all of us know, migraine is very common in adults, but yes, surprisingly, migraine occurs in children as well. So, Dr. Bhanudeep, how do we differentiate between migraine and other types of headaches in children, and from which age can children come with migraine?
First of all, thank you for giving this opportunity. So, migraine is actually a type of headache that you all know very well. It is actually derived from a French term called as hemicrania. So hemicrania means only on one side of the skull, rather brain. So it usually be unilateral in adults, but the seeds of migraine it will be mostly from infancy, because in infancy you can see most of them have this infantile colic, they'll say, because they'll say it's like a progenitor of this migraine in infancy. In preschool children, you can see like they'll be like bilateral, mostly it will be like bifrontal headache. But in school going children, normally you will see in the bitemporal areas, like mostly here. And when these children go into like adults, they will be like unilateral throbbing headache and very severe headache. So this migraine headache is mostly it will be in adults after 10 years of age, most commonly seen. However, it can be seen even in school going children as well. So in migraine, mostly will be like only one side pain with throbbing and very severe pain. They can be even aura. Aura means it can be like visual aura or auditory aura or temporal aura or anything. So aura will last for nearly some maximum up to an hour. So in this aura, they will see like some kind of hearing noises or any scintillating spectrum in the eyes. So after this aura, this migraine period usually starts. Migraine usually, like this headache, will last for up to 3 days. It can last up to maximum of 3 days, and it can even last less as well. So this migraine will be very much severe pain, and it might even progress to like bilateral as well, not only unilateral. And it is most commonly seen in girls. And then coming to these various types of headache that you will see in normally in children, like one is tension type of headache. In this tension type of headache, it won't have the normal migraine thing, like they won't have this nausea and vomiting and photophobia, phonophobia and osmophobia, means it can be aggravated by touch or smell or even sunlight as well. So this and tension headache mostly will be like bilateral, and it's like a band-like pain, not like unilateral in migraine. So, and also one more type of headache that you should be very much careful is this basilar migraine, or also this cluster headache. In cluster headache mostly will be like unilateral or bilateral, but the characteristic is it also won't have this nausea, vomiting, photophobia, phonophobia, and also they also have some autonomic disturbances like heavy sweating or any hypertension or any some drowsiness, haziness or in the eyes, that won't be seen in migraine. And also in migraine they have certain triggers for the migraine. Like first thing is lack of sleep, so we should have adequate sleep, and also busy schedule, stress. Like normal, if the children they are very busy doing homework or anything, so it's like very rampant nowadays. And also the third thing is when these children they miss the morning breakfast or skipping a meal. Even skipping a meal can aggravate this migraine. And also like there are certain food triggers as well, like eating chocolates or coffee or certain additives foods, or even some artificial sweeteners that we normally use. So they also can aggravate migraine. And also certain studies even point out that some storms, during storms normally we see the lightning, no? So certain spikes of migraine can occur even during the times of lightnings as well. And there are also certain hormone changes that they might say during the attainment of menarche also, this headache will be very much prominent in those girls as well.
So basically when children come with headache to us, most of the headaches in children are very vague. They will say child got better on their own, child went to sleep a bit, took a break from studies and is fine. These are not migraines. Migraines are usually severe, they are debilitating. The child will not be able to study, will prefer to be in a quiet place with lights off, preferably no sound, what Dr. Bhanu said, photophobia, phonophobia. And so you should be aware of these type of headaches. If your child is having severe headaches associated with nausea, vomiting, photophobia, phonophobia, please consult your pediatrician or a pediatric neurologist, and basilar migraine also needs to be looked for. And identifying triggers is the first thing I tell all my patients. Try to identify what is triggering it. So that, see, I myself have migraine, so I know my migraines get triggered if I go out in a very hot sun. So I usually wear sunglasses or carry an umbrella. So simple things like that can avoid, hours and hours of pain and very debilitating pain. Now coming to the next question, Dr. Bhanudeep. So basically, if a child has migraine, they can take any painkiller. They can take paracetamol, ibuprofen for symptomatic relief. Now, when do you advise them to go on continuous therapy? What we mean by continuous therapy is that we will give the child a medicine every day so that the headaches are under control. Reason being, if your child is getting migraines like 2-3 times in a week, imagine your child is losing out at least 8 to 9 days in a month. So that is not good for the child's growth and development. So what is the point at which we start the medicines? And the second question is, many parents are worried that once we start them on these medicines, child will get addicted or we will not be able to stop the medicines. So can you explain a bit about that?
Yeah, so regarding the management of the migraine, first thing is it is like a 3-step phenomenon. First thing is like management of acute headache. Like when the headache occurs at a point of time, what medicines you can give. So you can do like Brufen, or as ma'am told, you can also give this paracetamol. So you can just try that. So that will just relieve the acute thing. But if the child has some chronic daily headaches, like 15 times a month, 15 days a month, and also it's like very debilitating headache, so that time we should go for this prophylactic treatment. So we should give like continuous treatment. So there are also like certain drugs like valproate, ciprofloxacin, flunarizine, toprolol, topiramate. So all these drugs can be tried for this prophylactic management. So in this type of treatment, and also we should be careful that most of the parents are like most worried about the side effects of this treatment. So we should just don't start as a over-the-counter drugs, and just consult pediatric neurologist or somebody, and then you can just start it at a particular dose, because the dose should be a particular dose, and also we should give like divide them as well, not like rampantly, and we should not give them. And also one more thing is that the third step is like to avoid these triggers. Like as ma'am told, we should just limit our sun exposure. We should limit seeing our like mobiles, TVs,
especially video games. Children, video games have become a big trigger for migraine. So please, if your child is addicted to video games, first get rid of that addiction. And
also don't keep much stress into him, like by doing homework and all. And also don't skip any meal. And also try to avoid certain food triggers as well if feasible. And also we should do activity, like exercise should be done, like our lifestyle should be changed somewhat, and also we should try make the child like concentrate less and just be playful, and don't keep him stressed. And one more thing is that all these children, they are very much have this. So once we start this therapy, we should just continue it, and you have to keep on following it, and you should maintain even diary as well, like what is the duration of one headache, and what is the time period, and also when these episodes occur, and what is trigger, and like per a month, and you should just follow these children like every monthly if feasible.
Okay. And one question which I commonly get, so parents will come to me that exams are starting next month. Now my child is getting too much migraine. So can we give these medicines for, say, just for the exam period? And exam stress increases migraines because it's a major stress no matter how much you try. So is it a feasible option, Dr. Bhanu, or we shouldn't be doing it? And can these medicines then be stopped after the exam, or then we have to continue them for long?
It will depend on the severity, ma'am. Like
Okay.
whenever these children, if they feel that, like parents know actually usually, like
Yes.
during this exam time, they will be very much stressful. So better to use during that
Yes.
period, and they can just stop it also, like depending on the severity. So they can just taper slowly. Like they can just give it alternate day, then like every weekly twice. So they can they can just see how is that this headache, and then they can just stop it also. It's not a big deal, ma'am.
So for exams, don't let your child get stressed out, and you don't stress out. You can consult a pediatric neurologist who can help you to maintain the medicine schedule to help over these periods of stress. So hope this helps the parents whose kids are suffering from migraine. It's a chronic disease. There is no permanent cure as of now, but managing the stressors, having a healthy stress-free lifestyle will really help your child. And if things are getting very severe, please consult a pediatrician or a pediatric neurologist. Don't manage at home with homeopathy, Ayurvedic. Those things do not work for migraine headaches.
One last word actually. So they come into this long-term outcome. Actually, when these children, so despite giving certain medications, some of these children, they have nearly, I think 1/3 of the children, they will have permanent headache. Like it is in pertaining to migraine, and remaining 3/4 they will be somewhat free with like even without giving drugs as well, they will be somewhat free also. So then remaining 1/3 we should do even MRI as well, because if the child has some focal deficits, or even the child has some seizures, or any case of vomiting or acute vomiting, or any like altered sensorium, such children we should even do MRI as well. But EEG and LP is not necessary in those children. So MRI can be needed only in certain cases, as I told you. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's a very severe headache, don't presume it's migraine. Very rarely we have seen parents keep thinking it's migraine, then the child comes with vomiting, we do a MRI, it turns out to be a brain tumor. Not to scare anyone.
Yeah.
In fact, for out of 1,000 or 10,000 cases of headache I see, I advise MRI for one. I'm sure Dr. Bhanu follows the same thing. But yeah, detailed evaluation by a doctor is essential. So that is the purpose of giving this talk, to keep you updated and so that you have the necessary information to manage your child's migraine. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.